Welcome to day 880 in my HEX and PulseChain journey. I hope you're doing all great. Thanks for my latest subscriber MK. Welcome to the hood, brother. And now please make sure to hit that like button. Let's get this video up to 500 likes. Hit that subscriber button and turn on post notification to get notified for every new video. And now let's get started with today's episode. In today's video, we're gonna cover the HEX stats. HEX is looking really good and really green in the last couple of days. So we're gonna have a closer look at the usual HEX stats, some Uniswap insights, and what's going on with the liquidity. And on top of that, in a few hours, one of the biggest HEX stake in history will launch and will get staked for 5 days, which is the maximum length stake. So we're gonna have a quick look at that. In the second part of this video, we're gonna have a closer look at the PulseChain launch. Is it really that close? So stay tuned for that. And in the last part of this video, we're gonna have a quick recap of the PulseX exchange. So you guys should be ready for that. Once the thing launches, we have a lot of things to do. So stay tuned for that as well. And now let's jump right into it. First, on our HEX wallet, we can see I have staked now 4,000 HEX, already yielded 77 HEX in total, and I still have some liquid HEX. If you hop over to the staking tab, you can see in my active staking ladder, I have 5 active stakes. They all yield around 30 to 20%. The short-term stake is around 14%. And last time I did a video, the value was around $500. Now we're around $722, which is pretty damn dope. The next site we usually check is apphex.win. You can see already here the HEX price at 17 cents at the moment. We already reached 19 cents, so 20 cents could be pretty reachable in a couple of hours or maybe in a couple of days. One T-share is at the moment $3,684, but what is way more interesting is like the Uniswap pools. The liquidity is just fluctuating. At the moment we have 96 million HEX in the Uniswap pool. We can see on the version 3 USDC pool we have 68 million HEX tokens, and on the version 3 Ethereum pool we have 20 million HEX tokens. We will also have a quick look in a second on the Uniswap pools, so this will be interesting. You will have some more information about that. You can see the T-share price just went up to $3,200, $3,600 to be specific. And if we scroll further down, there's another interesting fact. You can see in here T-share rate just went up from 21,394 HEX per T-share to a new value of 21,658 HEX. It went up a little bit more. At the moment we are sitting at 21,670 HEX for one T-share, so this can happen all the time, and I'm pretty sure we should see this happening pretty soon again if we just gonna eliminate the nuked, the late, and the stakes in grace. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can see it even better. On the 9th of May we have an expiring stake. Maybe it's accumulating over 1 billion HEX should come out. So once this stake will be ended, this will change the T-share rate, and I'm really curious to see how this chart will look in the future once again. And if you hop over to the Uniswap exchange, HEX price 17 cents. We have just some people who take profit at the 19 cent level. This is all good. There is some resistance, but what I would like to show you is the total value locked. We have these spikes in here all the time, so we just went from around 31 million down to 20 million. It's pretty easy to explain this behavior. So the LPs are moving their liquidity. If we have a look, for example, at the HEX USDC pair, and if we have a closer look at the liquidity, so people have to move their position, that their red line, which is the current price, that they stay in this range still to earn fees. And you can see the fees earned in the last 24 hours over $50,000. So this is all good. And if we go back to the other pair, we have like two pairs. We have the HEX USDC pair with a slippage of 0.3%, and we have a HEX USDC pair with a slippage of 1%. Same goes here. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see also the liquidity changed. People putting some liquidity in the new position, in the new range, so they can earn liquidity fees. And if we just go on like this, we could see a 20 cent HEX pretty damn soon. So this should just show you that the liquidity can change over time. LPs can pull their liquidity and put it back in later. I just pulled out a little image from yesterday. 13 hours ago, the liquidity, the total locked value looked differently. We had still this little gap in here, so this would just spike the price to 20 cents. If we have a look how it is now, going to have a quick look at the liquidity again, you can see it, there's no gap anymore. And here around 20 cents, we have now, like, you can sell it a sell wall, because price will have to go through this wall until we go further from 20 cents. But at the moment, this is what's happening. So don't you worry when numbers are changing short term. You can always observe this on hexdailystats.com. For example, you see in here the liquidity pool in HEX. You can see yesterday we had 116 million HEX in the liquidity, before it was 168 million, before 200 million, and so on. So at the moment the liquidity is dropping a little bit. That's okay. This will also accelerate the price, but overall the system is decentralized, so people need to take action and move their liquidity. If we have a quick look at the chart, it doesn't look so bad. This is the Uniswap version 1 chart where we can see all the drops in here. So since the latest low we are already up around 80%. If you have a closer look on the second chart, we are here now on the Uniswap version 2 chart with the HEX USDC pair. It's kind of crazy if you have a look at these wicks in here, around $90. I'm not really sure if these wicks are just a miscalculation and it's just wrongly visualized, but if you imagine 1 HEX for $90, that would be pretty sweet. And by the way, it's not just the selling and buying which is going on, price which is going up. If you have a closer look at the stake wrap in the last 24 hours, and you can observe this behavior since a couple days, we have a lot of transfers going on, 7,335 transfers just in the last 24 hours, which is roughly 100 million. So I assume a lot of HEX gets transferred left and right. And one reason for that, but probably not the biggest one, is Maximus. I just want to point out real quick again, Maximus is almost at the end of the launch phase, 7 hours left. And if we have a closer look at the smart contract, we can see in here the smart contract holds now 271 million HEX, almost 272 million HEX, which is an equivalent of 47 million US dollars. And in around 7 hours the smart contract will take all this HEX, stake it for 5555 days, which is the max length stake, and then a lot of HEX will be off the market for the next 15 years. So congratulations, this smart contract, which is just taking a lot of HEX off the market, which is beautiful. So we will see in a couple hours this. I think it's one of the biggest stake in the HEX history, around the 5th or 4th biggest stake which will be made, depending on how much more HEX will flow in. So let's come now to the second topic of today. The PulseChain launch is just really close. We can see a tweet from Richard Hart from the last couple days. Mid-May is still the target for the world's largest free airdrop. V3 AMM bot is working, SAC balance is looking great. Most SAC complaints are user errors. So the V3 AMM bot is probably meaning for the Uniswap, not the version 3 testnet. Not actually sure if we're gonna see a version 3 of the testnet or not, but anyway, have a look always at the sacrifice checker. There are some updates in the balances all the time. We just have the recent update from today. You can paste in your address and then you see down in here how much Pulse you will receive and how much PLSX you will receive. On top of that, you see all the data in here, which is just looking great. I receive basically everything which I assume to receive. There's also a little update for Tron and Tether. If you sacrificed from these two chains, just click the link and you have an update how to proceed and how to get your PLS or PLSX points. And maybe another sign that PulseChain is launching soon, if we have a closer look on Etherscan, if we search for the PulseChain sacrifice address in here, so we can see not that much money as before is in this address. So let's have a deeper look what happened. At the moment the balance of the sacrifice address holds around 150,000 US dollars. Back to the address, and I know we have here on the ERC20 tokens transfer, we can see view all. Let's go to the second page. If we scroll down a little bit, we should see some outgoing action in here. We can see, for example, in here 58 days ago 155 million USDC moved. Same goes for 35 million DAI stable coins. And if we scroll further down, we should see also some HEX going out. So you can see on day 68 the HEX, for example, moved out of the PulseChain sacrifice address to this address. If we're going to click on here, we can see there are two transactions. Once the 130 billion HEX tokens came in, and then they were sent out straight away to the PulseX sacrifice address. And if we click on the PulseChain sacrifice address, we can see this wallet is holding quite a lot of tokens. All the HEX is in here. We have still a lot of DAI stable coins. But now back to the wallet of the PulseChain sacrifice. I just wanted to point out there was some activity. I was missing this in the last couple of weeks, but just 2 months ago some USD and DAI stablecoin moved out. And just guys, keep in mind the sacrifice addresses are holding so much USDC, so much DAI, so much crypto. This will be so much fun once the PulseX exchange will launch, and with that we are on the third part of this video. So I just want to give you a quick overview once again that you're ready for the PulseChain launch, and with the PulseChain launch we should also see the PulseX exchange launch, so you guys should really be ready. First we're just gonna connect our MetaMask wallet by clicking connect, switch network of course as well, and you're already on the first overview of the page. You have here the menu trade where you can exchange tokens back and forth. This is usually the same behavior like Uniswap. The second part is the liquidity. You can provide liquidity and earn fees, and if you provide liquidity you get the LP tokens, and these LP tokens you just go over here to the farms, and when you have a farm which you like, for example in here the PLS6 PLS farming, you just add your LP tokens in here and they gonna earn you the incentive token. You can see, for example, I earned already 0.1 incentive token on the testnet, which is roughly $112. I can always harvest them. MetaMask pops up, I just confirm the transaction, and in a couple seconds the transaction should be confirmed. I get some incentive tokens, whatever the incentive token is, but I can sell the incentive token and get, for example, more HEX, stake it out for longer, get some more sweet APY, get some free Hedron, and everything looks just perfect. So this is the farm part. If you go to the pools part, you can see we have no active pool at the moment. There is a finished pool, earn PRT token. This is just a random token, whatever, a placeholder. So you could earn some tokens when projects are providing some pools in here. You just click on it and you can automatically stake the PLSX tokens and you earn the tokens wherever project you stake it for. You have a little limitation of a max stake per user. Not really sure what a user is. I probably guess this should be a wallet address, but 10 million PLSX tokens are the max what you can put in a pool, but we will see a lot of pools going on in here. You will also have a great overview once you click the three dots. You have here in the middle the information function. Let me zoom out just a little bit. You can see the PulseX info and analytics. You see all the same information like on Uniswap, for example. You see the top trading tokens in here. If you scroll further down, you see then the top pools. As I said, you should see a lot of pools, and we see also how pools will come into this system in here. Click the three dots again, go to voting. This is the place for proposals where the community can then vote on the proposals, and then either they got voted in or voted out. And for example, the proposals for the core, which will affect the core infrastructure, or we have some community proposals, for example, to add another pool or to add another farm. And if you click again on the three dots, you have the last part, the burn function, PulseX buy and burn function. You can always, whenever you want, just to run this function, MetaMask opens up. You have to pay a little transaction fee. Let me just confirm the transaction. Boom, it's already on its way. In a couple seconds the transaction will be confirmed and we should have burned some more PLSX tokens, and voila, here PLSX burned. So this goes already really fast. This was a quick overview of all the functions you have on the PulseX exchange, and of course you also can do some stuff on the PulseChain directly. If you go, for example, to the validator site, congratulations David Feeder, once again you are the man with 226 billion TPLS delegated to your validator node. You are now on position 1. We have somebody on position 2. Myself is chilling at position 3 at the moment with roughly 60 billion TPLS delegated. So if you're holding some PLS tokens and you're not so much into farming or setting into the pools, you can always delegate your PLS tokens to a validator in this list. Have a good look at the revenue share that you get a good deal. Keep also in mind the fee earning situation will be maybe not the most profitable profitable. So here you have the chance to delegate some of your PLS to some validators if you would like so. You have also some more information in the rule and FAQ. Just have a quick look what's all about the validator penalties. Just make sure that the validator is in rotation, or you would like to delegate some PLS to a validator which should be voted up into the rotation set, then choose another one. But if you would like to earn some fees, it's good to choose a validator which is in rotation and does not have some slash crashes, some felonies or some other penalties, and of course also has a good revenue share which gives you your portion back. And with that, we are already by the end of this video for today. If you found any value in it, please leave a like, smash the subscriber button and drop a comment down below. And as always, stay safe out there, stay long and fat, and see you in the next one. Peace.